America's political system has long been defined by a duopoly, the dominance of two major political parties, Republicans and Democrats. However, growing dissatisfaction among voters concerning unresolved issues such as healthcare, infrastructure, education, and income inequality is prompting deeper questions about whether a third major political party is not just desirable, but necessary. Both major political parties and the broader American political system currently face significant challenges due to the pervasive influence of money, special interests, and media bias. Large financial donations, super PACs, lobbying groups, and media conglomerates often overshadow rational, educated, and genuinely public-spirited candidates. This distortion limits democratic representation by creating barriers that are nearly insurmountable for candidates lacking substantial financial backing or influential connections. Take healthcare as a critical example. Despite broad public support for more accessible and affordable care, genuine reform consistently stalls in Congress. Likewise, infrastructure upgrades, which have clear bipartisan public support and are essential for national growth and safety, face chronic delays and underfunding. The stagnation and gridlock evident in these areas point directly to a political system heavily compromised by entrenched interests, rather than guided by public necessity and rational policymaking. In this climate, the rise of a third major political party emerges as a compelling prospect. A party genuinely built from grassroots mobilization and committed to transparency could radically alter American politics. It could prioritize practical solutions to fundamental issues without bending to the will of wealthy donors, lobbyists, or biased media narratives. Such a party, free from the entanglements of corrupted money, would not only elevate rational debate but also restore public trust in democratic processes. But is this even feasible in practice? Skeptics point to the long-standing dominance of the current two-party system, highlighting institutional and structural challenges. Yet recent advancements in digital technology, social media, and crowdfunding platforms offer a meaningful pathway toward an alternative political infrastructure. These tools can significantly reduce dependence on traditional funding sources, allowing candidates to reach broad audiences effectively and affordably. Further, electoral reforms such as ranked choice voting, proportional representation, and transparent public funding for elections are gaining traction in various regions of the country. These reforms can dramatically lower barriers for independent and third-party candidates, fostering a more inclusive political landscape. As voters increasingly demand authenticity and accountability from their leaders, momentum for structural reform continues to grow. Moreover, a third major political party founded on ethical principles and rational governance would attract a significant cross-section of voters. Polls consistently show an appetite among the American public for viable alternatives that are not merely spoiler options but genuinely competitive and principled choices. Such a party would hold great potential to break through polarized politics and initiate constructive conversations around shared national priorities. The pressing question isn't merely whether a third major political party is possible, it clearly is, but how committed Americans are to supporting such a shift. History has repeatedly shown that substantial political reform typically arises in response to widespread public frustration. The pervasive influence of money, special interests, and media bias currently crippling meaningful progress creates precisely the conditions for transformative change. In conclusion, America's political landscape is ripe for a third major party genuinely committed to transparency, rationality, and public welfare. While significant obstacles remain, particularly in terms of resisting financial influence and overcoming entrenched media narratives, current conditions strongly favor a new movement that can meaningfully represent voters' interests. If such a party emerges and thrives, American democracy might finally begin to address fundamental issues that have been sidelined by systemic corruption and political inertia for far too long.